After the confrontation between Nefertima's father and the hobgoblin, a giant spider monster appears. Nefertima immediately senses that the spider is both hungry and panicky. The hobgoblin then engages with the spider. After struggling for a while, the hobgoblin manages to defeat the spider. The spider then tries to crush the hobgoblin, but he survives thanks to Soul's protection. Then, the spirits help the spider, and Nefertima communicate. The spider asks for Nefertima's help. It turns out the spider was protecting her child. A baby spider then comes out. Since the goblins migrated to the forest, the spider was unable to eat properly. After understanding the situation, Nefertima becomes sad and starts crying. She then expresses her desire to become stronger so that every living creature can live happily where they belong. The hobgoblin then evolves into a human-like creature. Thus, Nefertima informs Soul about the situation. However, Soul implies that the highest order of goblin species is the hobgoblin. Soul gets interested and informs Nefertima that he will visit her the next day. After that, the baby spider becomes attached to Nefertima. Nefertima ends up naming the spider Gratia, thus becoming Gratia's master. The next day, Nefertima again meets Nino and Pino. After that, Nefertima also meets the same rabbit again. Nefertima wanted to bring the rabbit home with her. However, her father advises her to let it go. Thus, Nefertima follows his advice. But then he sees the baby spider. Since the spider is a monster, Nefertima's father immediately starts freaking out. After some back and forth, he agrees to bring it home. After a while, before leaving, Pino invites Nefertima to visit them in the future. After that, Soul finally visits Nefertima. After examination, Soul concludes the evolved hobgoblin is not an Oni. He is a rather unique creature. Since the hobgoblin could use elemental powers, they decide to test his power. It turns out that after evolving, the hobgoblin became very powerful. Nefertima then, without thinking, gives the evolved hobgoblin a name. She names him Shinki. Thus, the evolved hobgoblin also becomes Nefertima's servant. Meanwhile, Shinki thanks Nefertima for giving him a name. He then calls Nefertima his master.